And we are live. Welcome everybody. Give it a couple minutes for people to start coming in and all that. But hey, thanks for everybody that's going to show up, and thanks for joining me tonight. Gonna have a good show. This is going to be fun. I got a good feeling about this one. Let me just get over to get myself set up and see how that's looking. I think we should be okay. I give everybody about a minute to start showing up, and then we'll get into it. I wish I could get away from this vertical view of the vertical shot, but if you hit that little square in the corner, I think that should all go away. And hopefully we get some live. Okay, so there we go. We got Billy Lee. Hello. Welcome. Got a few people showing up. Like I said, we'll give it a minute and let everybody go. Give everybody a few minutes to get in. But so I guess there's the mystery of what I was going to unbox today. I'm super excited about this. Super excited. I just can't say how happy I am to get this. This was actually excuse me. I got some tea brewing in the background to I've got not a sore throat, but it's just sort of a irritated throat today. I don't know, scratchy. But if anybody wants to just say hi and let me know that they're in here. But we've got Billy Lee in here, and that's plenty so far. Billy Lee, how was your holidays? Are you glad it's over? I'm still doing it. I still got another weekend of it yet. Scotty, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. That prime rib video you did that I caught today was pretty. That was on point, man. That was good stuff. Val, good to see you. Yeah, ours was late, so I'm sort of just getting over it. We still have all the decorations up. We, due to my kids' schedules, and one of my daughters works in the health field, so we couldn't really do it when we wanted to. Greg Hart, so glad you could make it. I saw your message. Stay safe down there, my friend. Stay safe. Oh, wrong burner. I got my tea going. Got some tea going. I have the wrong burner on. Boy, that's the way to start it out. That is not the way I wanted to start it out, but I will move this thing out of the way. I've got those you can't see. Smoking Bears, Lee, what's up, pal? Good to see you. I got the tea over here brewing up. Just gonna get that. Once that whistles, I'll throw that in there and we'll start doing what we're doing. But anyway, I've given everybody a few. We'll go ahead and get started with a little bit of it. Obviously, my unboxing for tonight is going to be this new Wagner that I was lucky enough to be gifted over the holiday season. My now new favorite middle daughter got me this, and I was ecstatic. I was absolutely ecstatic to pick one up. And so generally grateful. It's fun when your kids start getting you stuff. Both of my daughters started getting me stuff this year that wasn't only thoughtful like all their gifts have been over the years, but you know your kids are starting to become adults when they start getting you things that they know you would like. Not really just like a hat from your favorite sports team, or a T-shirt with a funny saying on it or something. But this year it was pretty different. My daughters got me stuff that, actually they were really thoughtful. They were adult gifts, gifts that adults would give, and I was really, yeah, Greg, yeah, socks. My mom got me socks. She got me a whole box of socks, which is she's been doing that since as long as I can remember. Probably since I don't even want to know. I don't even want to say how long. It's been a long time. Yeah, Pink. Actually, I am a huge Pink Floyd fan. A huge Pink. That's my top five. Right behind. They're right behind the Rolling Stones. Actually, the Rolling Stones is probably my favorite all time ever. But yeah, so like I said, I'm just waiting for my tea to warm up here, and I'm gonna steep that, and um, we're gonna get into it. But I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna take the lid off this. The packaging on this is phenomenal. I'm gonna grab the box because even the box that it came in was pretty good. I'm just, I've heard comments that it's a $250 griddle, $100 griddle with a $150 box. But the box is pretty cool. It's balsa wood. It's kind of the top's balsa wood. I'm gonna stain this eventually to keep that going. I want to show the box that it came in because the box was pretty cool. But I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do this like one of those things where I fake like I didn't actually already open it because I've already opened it. But yeah, even the box that it came in, if you can get the picture, it came marked as a Wagner ware. So that's pretty cool. I'm not even sure if I want to get rid of the box, throw the box away or not. Because I don't think I'm going to keep it in the box because I'm going to use it. I won't be using it tonight, but I will be using it eventually. I would love to see the Rolling Stones. I would still like to see the Rolling Stones if I had the chance. Scotty. Let me see. Yeah, but anyway, I'm going to keep this going. My tea's just getting ready to whistle, so I'm going to save everybody the sound of it whistling, and just go ahead and pour it out and let it sit for 5 or 10 minutes while I go through this first part. And one of the things that I was pretty impressed with this thing was the fact that there's been a lot of speculation on the surface and what it looks like and how comparative it is to, say, cheaper like Lodge and things like that. So we're going to get a Lodge out, and we're going to get some other vintage griddles out that I have laying around that are handy. But this thing is absolutely beautifully put together. It's got your inspection card, so that's pretty close to probably the date that it came out. And that's another cool thing about this. And it's one thing that I like that Stargazer does, is that you actually have an idea of when something was made. With all the collectors that are out here, and I'm sure everybody in here is a collector, that's the thing that's the biggest mystery. The first thing you want to know when you get a pan and you start collecting is when it was made, where it was made. You never know who owned it. And the cool thing about getting pans like this, even if they're Lodge or whatever, they start with you. And it's got a little story. It's got the little story thing in there. It gives a little rundown of when they made it, which was 1950, and I'll show that on there because there was a little speculation of the handle where it's marked, to tell the difference. But it is historically accurate to one that was made in the 1950s. This one is accurate to the back with the 3 reinforcements, which I really like because it doesn't have those grill grates on the back that you have to clean. Even if you only use one side of it on the grill or wherever you use it, you don't have to clean in between all those grates, which I really, really like. And it has the 3 reinforcements. Now, some of the older ones only had 2. They didn't have the center one. There was just this. And I used to have a Montgomery Ward griddle that made in the 30s, and it was actually square here in the center. It was a square, and it just had 2 reinforcements. This one has all the reinforcements on the back that it's supposed to. And then you'll see that once it got, after Wagner was sold, they started putting them in there for a little while. They put the logo, it just said Wagner ware. It didn't say Sydney, and that's how you can tell that it was after the 57 mark and into the 60s. that the griddles all just said Wagner ware in the center. There was nothing else on them, and then they said made in the USA, kind of like the marked ones or the unmarked Wagner do. They just said 17-inch grill, and that was it. They didn't say utility grill. This one has the part number. I'm going to pull this out, move these papers, and pull it up so you can get a good look at it. And like I said, I'm going to make sure I can get this in here. On this corner here, there was some speculation of what that means, the 5023, and that's merely to make sure that people can't pass this off as vintage and to separate the two. That's this 1950 that they made the first ones that were like this, and 23 is when they started to reissue them. So I hope you can kind of get a good look at that down there. There you go. And it's got the channels. Historically, this is totally accurate. It's got the single handle hold, or handle, the hanger hole on the top there with the grease channels down here, and the piece and this beveled edge. And there was a lot of speculation of whether or not these are smooth or not. These weren't really milled off. When they made a griddle, it wasn't milled off like it would be a pan where it was have the swirls and things like that. It's very accurate to a vintage pan. It's got the little divots. It's got a little, but it's not how you'd say pebbly like a Lodge is. It's really close to what it is. And one of the things I wanted to show with that, because you know, people want to compare these to Finex, or they want to compare them to Field, and those are the only ones modern that I could find that were actually making griddles similar to this now. And as far as the price point, my daughter said that she got this. There was a buyer's code that you could get and apply to it, so it was actually $50 off. So she got it for the going price for these is $240, but she got it for $190. And I don't know if that included shipping or not. But as far as like the price point goes, I did look up the Field. The Field averages, the Field long griddle like this averages about $300. And the thing about the Field one is that it is not reinforced on the back. It sits right over top of your, it sits over top of your burners like that. And I don't like those. I don't like that it doesn't have the reinforcements on the back, because the reinforcements are there to keep it from warping. So you have that to keep it flat, so you know you keep your griddle flat, as opposed to just sitting it directly on the burners. That's just letting me know that the oven's warming up, because we got some stuff we're going to cook. I'm not going to cook on this tonight because I wasn't really prepared for what I bought, what I got to do for tonight's cook. It didn't have anything to do with this, and I haven't had a chance to wash it. It is pre-seasoned. It feels pretty good. It's got a nice gold color. I don't know if that's coming up in the video. It looks a little it looks a lot darker than it on the monitors and on your phones probably than it does in real life. It's actually like a really nice golden brown, like you would have seasoned it with, say, a beeswax seasoning. But let me show you. I got another griddle here handy that I'm going to grab and just show I'll just get a close up here real quick of the surface, and you can see what I mean. That there are there's some imperfection. There are some little holes in it that, just like vintage, which I'm going to show right now. I don't have a vintage 1148 or any other Wagners anymore. I got rid of my Montgomery Ward. But if you look at one of these, this is let me just put that in there. This is a Wapak number 8 long griddle. And I don't know if you can catch it or not, but it has an Erie ghost mark in there. And this was made from 1903 to 1926. And the surfaces are very similar. Now when I got this, it had actually been rusted away through there. Oh shoot, and hopefully not cracked. But yeah, it's not a flat. It's not a glass smooth surface. And that whole thing of vintage a lot of times isn't a glass smooth surface. It just isn't. That's from where all of these that I've stripped hundreds and hundreds of vintage pieces, and they all have once you get all the stuff off of them, they have a little bit of texture to them, and that's what you need to season your stuff with. This even has a very, very deep hole that I believe probably has been there since it was made. And like I said, this is way older. I mean, 1903 to 1926. So this is a lot more vintage than what this 1148 would have been. Now, as comparison to today's, I'm not going to get out all my griddles because that would just be redundant. But I do have handy, without breaking everything. Now, this is a Lodge chef skillet, the chef series, and this is a little bit more pebbly than this one. You can feel the difference in it. Now, this one is actually, out of all the griddles that Lodge does, this is the smoother of the two. It still has the grill pan side and all that stuff, but there's another one that Lodge does called the double play, which is the square version of this. It doesn't have the grease trap where you can move everything over and run your grease or bits into your burnt meat. You can kind of scrape it off over to here, which makes this pretty nice, but that's still not as smooth as this one. So the comparison to Lodge with this isn't really there. This is vintage. I'm actually really impressed at how well they did with an actual, like a vintage. I mean, if you would have told me that this is a vintage piece, I would have believed. I wouldn't believe it, but it would pass. So they don't have the same texture as they would like the Lodge. Now the other one, the other Lodge that I was talking about, the double play, that is very pebbly. It's almost like Lodge maybe 10 years ago. It's a pebbly surface. It's not near as nice as this. So you're actually getting into, with this, you are actually getting into a great surface. It's been meticulously done. It really has. I'm just super impressed with it. Very, very impressed with it. I'm gonna put this griddle down because it weighs a ton. Put that back there on the old rack. But yeah, this thing is just fantastic, and how accurate they got to the back of it. Even in the 50s when they made these, it did say utility grill on them. So they've got it marked down to the T, and it's beautiful. I mean, there's no burrs on the edges. It's nice. It's a great piece. So, I mean, when you're looking at something that maybe you could pick up for $190, as opposed to another modern that's $300 to $325. The Field Company being $325, and the Field Company also didn't have the ribs on the back of it, the reinforcement ribs. It was this one that she said, sort of like the Wapak that I pulled down. The Wapak didn't have the ribs on the back, at least that model. Some of the Wapaks, if I remember correctly, they have two lines that ran down, two reinforcements that ran down there. But I could be making that up in my head. But I'm pretty positive that that's how some of the models of the Long Griddles went. But I'm going to go ahead and move this off to the side and sort of repack it up until I'm ready to use it. I was thinking about Reuben sandwiches on here to make some of my leftover corned beef, but sauerkraut, in my experience, is a seasoning killer. It's been on a lot of my stuff. It's been a seasoning killer. So we're just going to go ahead. I'm going to move this up, and then we're going to start getting in with what my kitchen hack is. It's made, yeah, Greg Hart, it's actually made in Pennsylvania. They will say that. I don't think that they have a specific, and also the, like you said, Huey, that's a good point. The old lodge used to have the 2 lines in there as well. So, but yeah, Greg, they make these in Pennsylvania. I emailed. I never got anything back about what they had to say, but yeah, they are making them in Pennsylvania. That's on the website. If you dig in there deep enough, you can do that. Hey, Corey Clark, what's up, pal? What's up, buddy? Yeah, just Pennsylvania. That's all they would say. So I don't know. I don't know why they're so why they say that, but I mean Pennsylvania. I mean they made Griswold in Pennsylvania. They made all kinds of John Wright pieces in Pennsylvania. So I don't know. It'd be interesting to find out if it say wasn't what's the one? You know, Stargazer I think is made in Pennsylvania, and I think that Lancaster is Pennsylvania. I know that Stargazers kind of starts out in Pennsylvania, ends up in Ohio for a little while, and then yeah, I had to switch off Corey Clark. But I got I have no attention span. I'm sitting there I'm watching the comments, and somebody mentioned the Sugar Bowl game, and I was watching the Notre Dame. I was listening to the Notre Dame game. I had to shut it off so I wouldn't get a copyright strike. Let me see. But yeah, I mean, Lancaster's made in Pennsylvania. That'd be kind of ironic if we found out that somebody like Lancaster was making it or Stargazer was making it. So, you know, who knows? I mean, I don't know. As somebody who lives not far, who grocery shops in Sydney, Ohio, I can't really put a lot back on Wagner for this because Wagner, the family had nothing to do with it. They sold it in 1957, and it's changed hands a bunch. We've all heard the history of General Housewares, the Randall Group. All these different people have owned this thing over the years. But really, what ruined Wagner was corporate greed and mismanagement, and a lack of, and honestly, just a lack of people wanting to make a quality product. That's what ran out Wagner. And then, there was the thing too with, and knowing people that actually worked at Wagner and made the Magnolite. I mean, my old, one of the places I used to work, my boss was a former Wagner employer that polished Magnolite. That was his job. He worked for 20 some years on the Wagner Magnolite line, polishing aluminum. And, there was so much misinformation in those days that, aluminum caused this and that and whatever, and I'm not going to get into that. I don't really care about it because it's past stuff. But, I see 90s Wagner all the time, 80s Wagner all the time, and it's not the quality that it was from into the 60s. And into the 60s, it didn't really, Wagner gets a bad name after 57, but still the old unmarked ones that were made until 69 when the company changed hands again, those were still great pans. They maybe, didn't have as great a quality control as say they did before, but if you can get a 60s unmarked Wagner that says made in the USA that's from that time period, those are great pans. Those are the pans I do my baking in, or 60s unmarked Wagner. You sip my tea. That was another gift my daughter got us this year. She got us some coconut chocolate tea. That's been fantastic. Let me move this off to the side and we'll get to the cooking. Then I'll catch up on some of the comments. But yeah, but what we're going to do tonight, let me see. Before I go any farther, I just want to catch on planning on getting a Wagner utility griddle or even an 1891. Yeah, those 1891s, they're just so rough. A lot of them, they're kind of hit or miss from what I've seen. Yeah, that Lancaster thing, I don't know. I used to go to college, and where I went to college, the town very close to us was Lancaster, Ohio, and they always said Lancaster, and they would get freaked out about it. I don't know. Let me see. Water down. Let's see. Water down to the shore. Yeah, yeah. There's definitely. I noticed that sometimes some of the stuff I watch. I follow. If you guys don't follow Cast Iron Kev, give Cast Iron Kev, and he's from New Jersey, and he sometimes I notice his accent too. But yeah, it is Wapak, and it is Piqua, not Piqua or Piqua. It's just Piqua. It's pretty phonetic, and Wapak, and I don't really care how anybody says it. I always just thought I was kind of helping people out by how they, because when I was watching videos when I first found out that other people collected cast iron, it seemed to be something that they struggled with. But I'm going to start out. What we're going to do tonight for the hack is one of my favorite things to make, and I'll bring out one of the stars of the show. I don't know what this. I know this 16-inch round griddle I've had since 1997, and the reason I remember that is because I got a T-shirt from the place where I bought it, and it was the 1997 Coon Dog races in Kenton, Ohio, and it is anything more about it. I've tried to figure some things out. It is gate marked on the inside. It does not sit flat for the most part. It sits kind of flat. Well, actually, it sits better on this surface than it did when I was messing with it earlier. I put a couple coats of seasoning on it yesterday because I haven't used this one in a while, and I wanted to give it some work. But I've never figured out what it is. I've asked a lot of people. Some people will tell me that it's post-Civil War, and then other people will tell me that it's Asian. So I don't know. It's pitted really bad on the back. It's really badly pitted. But it was in great shape when I got it. I actually bought it from a guy at a booth at Coon Dog Trials, and I used it that night we made loose meat venison burger, like loose meat sandwiches, kind of like Sloppy Joe without the sloppy. And just peppers and onions. But I've had this since 1997. I've used it for everything from cookies to pizza, and that's exactly what we're going to be doing tonight. We're going to be doing pizza. But the spin on the pizza that we're doing tonight is I'm not making pizza crust. I'm not making pizza sauce. I'm not doing anything. I'm doing a cheap version of this, and this is something. This is a hack that I've gotten pretty good at doing over the years. We're going to take frozen pizza and we are going to dress it up and make it look like it came from a pizzeria. The other star of the show tonight, we're going to be doing a Lodge 16-inch round griddle. I got this at Cornbread Festival. This was actually a second that I picked up for $15 in their part of their second store, or their in-house store that they have down there. And the thing that was wrong with it, it was circled in wax crayon, was that right there. That was their imperfection. So that says a little bit about Lodge's quality control. I mean, if they were willing to knock almost $40 off this thing for that. Oh, and this. That was the other thing. It had two circles, that and this. I'll take it because it's made a heck of a lot of pizzas. But you may say to yourself, why is he making a frozen pizza? Well, this is the thing. We were out. I've always done this. Like I've said a couple times, I've been a single parent for decades, and when the kids were little, money was tight, so I had to learn how to kind of make things a lot better when we didn't have everything. And in today's economy, like we went to a local pizza place that is probably one of the best in Ohio, ranked one of the best in Ohio. No, it's not a pinhole, cast iron case. It's just a little divot. It's just a little imperfection in the surface. There's no pinhole. There's no nothing. I can't even. I mean, heck, there was probably 10 of those same size holes in the griddle that I just showed. Yeah, Wapak. Ronald Coward, Wapak, yeah, it's that easy. Wapakoneta, Oneta, Wapakoneta. It's I don't know, and it helps I have an um, it helps that I have an Ohio accent, just like all the weather people around the country. But yeah, what I was getting at before is we just went to a place, and it's a upper scale pizza place, you know, craft pizza they call it, but we got a medium supreme pizza with one side salad, bread knots, which is they're supposedly famous for their bread knots, which is garlic bread shaped in a pretzel and covered in butter, garlic butter, and it was almost $60. And pizza's just become something that's crazy. And this is the time of year, like tonight, people are watching the Sugar Bowl. People are having company. It's winter time. People are coming over. They're staying in for parties. And I thought that this would just be fun to see what you can get with just a frozen pizza. So I'm going to stick these. I'm going to move these out. I'm going to move this out of the way. I'm going to break out the pizzas. Yeah, it was just sitting on. It wasn't. It's not. It doesn't have bad warp. It's just sitting on that thing weird. The other one. Let's see. Yeah, the ones from the supermarket, man, can be pretty good. And this one, we're just gonna use. Let me get my. I just gotta uncover my stuff. I've got everything prepped off to the side. And I'm going to make another thing to go along with it. I'm going to kind of make, I'm going to attempt to make some garlic bread, or like a side bread, and with a little bit of Italian pico. I don't know if anybody does that. I don't know what anybody calls it, but I did that, and I'm going to try and do that. I've never tried it, just like I do in almost every episode of these lives. I try and do something off to the side just to eliminate stuff that was in my freezer or my refrigerator. Tom's Food Factory, what's up, buddy? How are you? Good to see you. Missing our Sunday morning, missing the Sunday morning lives over at Smoking Bears. I texted Lee to see if they were doing it last Sunday. I got up at 9, which was pretty unusual. Yeah, I've never used one of those. I've been doing this. Yeah, you know, cast iron chaos. That's what my daughter does for garlic bread. She gets one of those Italian loaves, cuts it in half, dresses it up, and I mean, they're pretty darn good. I'm gonna do kind of a little spin on this. Something I've never tried to do, but we're gonna try and do like a little side bread and some Italian pico-ish thing to kind of go along with it. But enough said, because everybody's just staring at my tea and that. So I'm gonna start getting the pizzas out. And I'm gonna stagger these a little bit, just so we can kind of work on from one to the other. First one I'm gonna do is just a standard one, and then I'm gonna kind of dress the next one up sort of more of an artesian style pizza. And just so you know that I'm not doing a switcheroo, I'm going to cut this off. Now the one part of this hack that I like is that these are Jack's pizzas, nothing gourmet. They're not a Paul Newman pizza or anything else. But I would say Dave Portnoy would, by the time this is done, I'd say Dave Portnoy would give this a solid 7-1. But one of the things is, what I was getting ready to say before I sidetracked myself, is that I get these pizzas and I get them in, say, a box of 4. They're $11.99 for a box of 4 at Sam's Club. And so right there, you're getting a $3. You're already at $3 for that thing. Yeah, that's how I learned to do this, was just sort of making this for the kids. You know, I've made a lot of these frozen pizzas over the years, and one thing I learned about pizza is that there's never a time that kids won't eat pizza. Even when my kids say have the flu or something, when they were growing up, I would make, if they wouldn't eat anything else, if they wouldn't eat chicken soup, or they wouldn't eat anything, they would eat pizza, no matter what. Let me grab my cutting board, and let's get started. But I think that overall, now one of the things is too that I'm going to do, and in case I forget to say it, I'm just going to say it now. Make sure that we're centered up there pretty well. Get that in there. Okay. The thing and the thing I noticed with the with buying the four pack pizzas as opposed to a single pizza is they're better. These we've all said this. All my kids say it. I 100% agree with it too. These are way better than when you get the single ones. They have more pepperoni. If you get the ones with just out of the pack, they have like half that pepperoni on them. They have half the cheese. They're usually broken and all that. And what I'm going to do is, the other thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to throw my first pan in to heat up. Now I don't want the pan screaming hot. I don't want it to be, I've got my oven set at 425. We're going to run these about 20 minutes. Normally a Jack's Pizza is 12 to 14 minutes, depending on your oven. But the reason that I don't heat it up all the way is that at 425, I don't heat up the pan all the way, is that at 425, if you've got your pan up that high, you're going to scorch the bottom because you need extra time, because we're going to load this baby up. We are definitely going to load this up. And like I said, so the first one we're going to do with just standard ingredients. I'm going to grab some gloves, and I'm going to glove up here real quick, and we'll start dressing this thing up. And I'll get to look at some of the comments too. Let's see here. Oh yeah. Yep, you're welcome. My daughter Ming's letting the dog out too at the same time. I'm sorry, I had to let them do their thing. And I'll just look at the comments here for a second. That's one of the things I'm trying to get used to, because my monitor is behind me because of my limited space. Yeah, I say that. You know, I have a friend of mine, and I hope Artie shows up on the live feed tonight. We say that every year. We're not going to get any more cast iron this year. It's almost like a ritual. We say it every single year that we're not going to get any more. You know what, Fuzz? You're one of these days. I do need to come up and see you, because you're not incredibly far. I drive farther to do. Yeah, I drive farther for less. That's for sure. That's why it is cast iron ice. But one thing I will say to get started is, when I do dress these pizza up, I drain everything. So I'm going to start out, I got some mushrooms. These are just, on the first pizza, we're just going to go canned. Everything on here is going to be canned for the first thing. I need to throw my pan in the oven real quick. Let me just do that right quick. Throw my pan. I'm going to go ahead and start warming this first one. First one I'm going to warm up is the vintage one. And that pan, the vintage one I showed with the gate mark, is the one that got me initially kicked off of Cast Iron Chaos's Facebook page, because I didn't know much about it at the time. I still don't know anything about it, but I was up there and I was trying to find a value or a maker or somebody could tell me what it was. And I had this lady on there who was starting a lot of drama with me, and she was even PMing me. And I got back on there the next day to see if anybody had anything, and I even posted a picture of it again. And this lady started in on me. Well, I mentioned that she was the B word, and I know it wasn't Cast Iron Chaos. I know it wasn't you, Motoback, personally, but the moderators on his page kicked me off of the cast iron of his cast iron page. That's been years ago, by the way. It wasn't here recently. But it's kind of a funny, kind of ironic, and that was where I found out about E-Dub's channel, which I really found very useful and entertaining. for a long time. I remember when he got, what was it, when he had recently, I didn't see it that Christmas, but it was very recent, close after that, that he got the Jeff Rogers Finex pan that I started following on Facebook when I was still on social media. I'm not on social media anymore. So we've got our drained mushrooms on there, the canned ones. I've got drained. Oh, the other thing I want to put on there too. Yeah, it's been a while. I've followed your stuff for a long time, because Cast Iron Chaos's page, Facebook page, was one of the first places that I realized that other people collected cast iron besides me. I didn't know it was a thing, and I'll say that, and I'll die on that hill. I've got some drained peppers and onions, just green peppers and sweet yellow onion. We're gonna drop those on there. Get those edge lines. I remember I worked at a pizza place in high school, which, if you got kids, have them get a job at a pizza place, because you learn so much working at a pizza place, between interacting with people at a doing delivery, or just learning different things on how to cook. I mean, it was one of the first places that I realized what oregano was. I grew up in a really rural area, and oregano and learning how to make pizza sauce, it wasn't something that was in my mom's kitchen. Let's see. You know, I love anchovies. I don't like a lot of them on there. That one part looks a little, it's not, it doesn't look as plain in here, but I can see where on there it looks a little like it needs a little something. But I like anchovies. One of my favorite pizzas is anchovy, black olive, and mushroom. That's one of my favorites. Yeah, I've seen that. That was one too. Because all the cast iron that I had was a hand-me-down, and I think I've told this story before, but I had some cast iron. I had that big 16, the big 16 that I just showed. I had a Lodge piece, and I had some hand-me-downs from my mom that actually were Wagner. My fajita pan I got from my mom. Trying to think what else I had as hand-me-downs. But I didn't realize people collected cast iron. Just like I didn't realize that people did beeswax seasoning. I mean, I did beeswax seasoning and started doing that for myself in 2016. And I didn't start selling it commercially or online until 2019. I had no idea there was these other things. I've never used them. I don't know anything about them. Let me see if there's anything that oh shoot, I didn't put the rings on there. I forgot the rings. I'm a big fan of these. My daughter and I started putting these on, these little banana pepper rings. That's where it is at. I love these things. I don't want to overdo, because I already started putting the cheese on. But yeah, I didn't realize that people restored and collected vintage cast iron until I was asked by a guy if I knew how to clean up cast iron for him, and he gave me a box full, and he said, "Here's, how much would it cost me to clean them?" And I said how much it would cost him, and he ended up paying me to do it, and then on top of it, he gave me that number 6 that I used to bake in to this day. And that was my first introduction. And I started looking up cast iron because I wanted to know what that pan was. That's how I got into it. Let's see, catch up on that. Yeah, I very rarely sold anything, and everything I've sold Corey Clark, I regret to this day. I absolutely regret. Especially one of the things that I sold that I really regret, and it's not one of my Indian Head number 8s that I sold here about 6 months ago, but that Montgomery Ward griddle that I sold. I stepped over that thing in an antique store for about a year. I stepped over it in this one booth every weekend, and it was there, and I finally took it home and cleaned it up and I cleaned it up. I had it about a year. I used it a lot, and I just kept getting in my, like I had one piece too many in my kitchen, and that was that piece. And so one day I just decided I put it on eBay just to see what I could get for it. I put it on auction and I sold it for about double what I paid for it, and from there on out that's what it is. And then I don't have it anymore, and I regret selling that one so much because I simply love that pan. I'm always missing oven mitts when I do these lives. Normally I'm pretty organized in my kitchen. Let's see, we're gonna throw that on there with the neat bail handle. I love this bail handle. There's a piece of fuzz on there. There's fuzz on my griddle. Let me see. I'm just gonna, a little olive oil. I don't flour it. I don't do a lot of any of that kind of stuff. I don't, it seems to make a mess for me. And for the way I cook it, maybe that's why it isn't necessary, but I'll just throw a little olive oil on there. And I'm gonna kind of, almost like seasoning, I'm just gonna wipe it on and then wipe it off like I messed up. I don't really want much on there because I don't want it to get sticky either. Because when you're working with olive oil, it can get a little gummed up. So we'll throw that on there. It's a little hotter than I wanted the pan too, but whatever. It is what it is. This is still gonna, oh, and I almost forgot. I'll just throw that on there. Now that's not a sizzling hot, that's not like cornbread. But we're just gonna throw some Italian seasoning on there, on the top of that. Like so. And I'm hoping that there's nothing that I was gonna make a little bacon, but I don't know. I never got around to it. Had a busy day. So we'll throw that in there with the lobster. Oops. And this time I'm not going to forget to put the timer on, and I'm going to throw that timer on. Like I said before, I'm at 425. I'm going to throw this in I'm going to give it 20 minutes. I know I'm going to check it, turn the light on. I'll get the light on so I can look in there and make sure that it doesn't burn. And I'm going to save that little cardboard piece because that's what we're going to cut it on. So for the next thing, I'm going to take this and I'm going to put this in there and let it warm up for about 5 minutes, 2 or 3, maybe not even 5 minutes, but I'm going to throw this thing. And I got this a little while back, and these casserole dishes from Lodge, if you haven't noticed already, I tend to use it quite a bit because that thing is pretty cool. And I'll just sit here for a minute and kind of catch up on the thing and on this, and kind of catch up on that for a second. Sort of read these comments. Yeah, I like Cynthia. I like Old Man Speaks as well. Yeah, I find him very fascinating gentleman. I mean, to do everything that he does with 2 prosthetic arms that he's had his entire life. I mean, that's just amazing. It makes you kind of, sometimes I think, gosh, there's things I can't do, and I got both my hands. And that guy, I mean, he does it all at his age. He's got to be in his 80s. He has to be at least in his 80s. Yeah, that guy's something else. And I'm not into lanterns or anything like that, but I have learned a lot about lanterns from him. So while I'm doing that, I'm going to break out my bread. I think I'm going to make this bread here in the middle. I was going to make it toward the end, but I think I'm going to middle it. Just going to middle this up here real quick. This is just some of the bread. I don't know if anybody caught my community page where I showed that loaf of bread I made the other day. That's just this. I hate to waste anything, so I'm gonna try and this is kind of, it's not stale yet, but it's starting to get dry. So I don't waste it. I'm going to we're going to use that as our garlic bread. Let me see. Let me catch up on the comments here. No, thank you. Yeah, that was my daughter Ming, my youngest daughter Ming. She got me the bread lame, and that was, I got to use my new bread lame to cut the holes in it. Usually I was using an X-Acto knife. Forever I've used an X-Acto knife to make cuts and stuff in my bread. And normally I don't make it one of the, the fancy cut tops. I just make brown bread and call it a day. Yeah, that's the other thing. Tom, I completely agree. But this bread has everything bagel seasoning on the top of it. I don't know if you can see that or not. So it would make really, really crappy French toast. Yeah, Corey Clark, there's nothing wrong with having a bunch of Wagner and Lodge and BSR. BSR I don't have a lot of familiarity with because where I live it's just not that common. And I've got a few pieces, and I have a Red Mountain chicken fryer, a very early Red Mountain chicken fryer, and I love it. Oh, cut the crust. I love the crust. My favorite part is that I actually saved, when I cut this all up, I saved the bread heels for myself. I love the bread heels. Yeah, if there was more people in my house, I don't think it would make it either. But we've just had so much holiday food. I mean, there's still stuff from snack trays and everything in there, like summer sausage and cut up vegetables. I mean, it's just, there's so many leftovers right now. I'm just like picking and choosing which ones I actually do. So I think that, and just like the other deal, I'm not going to let that casserole dish heat up too much. I just want it warm. I'm not trying to fry anything. I just want it to be warm. I want it to just kind of get where it is. And I'm going to be putting it on the bottom rack underneath the pizza pan. And so it's going to act sort of as a broiler. I'm hoping that the top acts as a little broiler for the bread and kind of browns the top of this, because that's my hope. Oh man, this pizza is already starting to smell so good. So good. Okay. So I'm gonna take, and I'm not gonna, unless I have to, I'm just wiping that oil off. That was sort of the excess oil from the other piece that I oiled up. Just gonna wipe that in there. And then my plan is, which I've never done this, so if it doesn't turn out, it doesn't turn out. I'm gonna throw these in there. Kind of center it up a little bit. And like I said, like I was gonna say earlier, these pizzas are something that you can do when you got people drinking beers in your garage, or you're having pay people over to watch the game, or you just Friday night pizza night. So let me find my olive oil, and we're just going to drizzle the olive oil over top of that. There we go. Doesn't have to be a lot, just some. And then I'm going to take these full pieces of mozzarella and stick those on there, and have that right there. And let me see, let's put a little bit of this. Let me put a little bit of that on the bottom too. There's a little bit of garlic in there. A little bit of that on the bottom. And this is just oregano and basil with this a little bit of parsley in there as well. Nothing fancy, just stuff that was out from my garden that I dehydrated. just throw that on top. Throw that on top. Throw that on top. And we'll drizzle just a little bit more olive oil on top of that. Just a line, just a little pretty little line there. There, nothing too. And then we'll take a red pepper, also from the garden. Let's take a red pepper and just kind of crush that up over top for a little bit of color. Like I said, I've never tried this before, so I don't know if this is going to work. I didn't get the idea of anywhere but just what I had sitting around the house. Maybe a little bit more of that crushed red pepper on that. That one looks like it kind of needing a little bit more of that color. Okay. There we go. Now I think that one needs some more color. Yeah, I'll just pick up the ones that are there. There we go. All right. Now I'm not worried about sauce or putting anything else over top of that, because that's what I'm going to dip that, like a sort of Italian pico de gallo. That's the only way I know to describe it. I just took and I'll show you guys what that is here in just a minute. Let's see. And I'm going to go ahead and throw these into the oven so we can have that with the first round, because we'll do the second one. We'll do the second one. Push that in a little farther. Oh, that's a little hot. Okay. And hopefully we'll get a little broiler action out of the other thing. Okay. So that's in, and then I'll go over the that pico de gallo kind of stuff that I was talking about. If I can find it. Oh, there it is. I need to work in a smaller kitchen. But here's this, when I was talking about what I'm going to be dipping the bread into. This is just half of a vine-ripe tomato, and then a little bit of mozzarella cheese, about a teaspoon, this spoon of minced garlic, just a slice of onion, a little bit of green onion, some oregano, and some basil, and some olive oil, and that's all this is. Did I mention mozzarella? I think I did. Yeah, I just chunked up a little something. Just a little something to kind of freshen, just a little fresh something to go with the bread, as opposed to, say, like a garlic butter or a pizza sauce or whatever. Just something a little fresher than that. No fresh jalapeno. My grocery store has been so out of vegetables. It's kind of the reason. Well, that was the reason that I had that damn purple cabbage the other day. Because there was no green cabbage. There's no green cabbage. There was no cauliflower. There was no romaine lettuce. There was no anything. It was just picked dry. That coconut chocolate tea is so good. So we've got about 8 minutes on the other. I'm doing a lot better. I'm doing a lot better on time than I thought I would. The purple cabbage was so funny, because I just had no idea. I've never used purple cabbage in anything other than coleslaw, to make coleslaw, and that's every once in a great while I'll add purple cabbage to my coleslaw, and generally it's just a little bit, because I like fresh coleslaw or fresh cabbage to just eat as a salad. And so whenever I get a red cabbage, I cut it up and I make salad out of it. And I just add a little bit to the coleslaw. And I've never boiled it a day in my life. And when I opened the lid up and it looked like some kind of Marvel comic Hulk concoction, and everything was purple. My potatoes were purple. My corned beef was purple. I made a Reuben sandwich out of the leftover corned beef and cabbage and potatoes last night. And it was just, it was purple. Everything in there was purple. was ridiculous. Yeah, purple water. I mean, it was just everything. It literally looked like something from the Marvel comic series. It was silly. It was silly. Now I'm sorry that I'm gonna wait to do the next one because this is where I have to cut up my other, cut that pizza, and it has a few more minutes before the first round of pizza is gonna come out. I'm actually gonna get my plates out and set those off to the side because I know, yeah, Barney stew, exactly. I bet I bet it does look crazy, hog wild, because it turned my cabbage or my corned beef. It turned it purple. I've never seen anything. I've never seen anything like it. It just turned everything purple, which is, is what it is. But it was kind of, it literally looked like something that would be in a Marvel comic book. Let's see how many people are watching so far. See if we got anybody. Oh wow, we got 24 people in here. I'm still hoping to get 30 someday. That's my goal. Yeah, Barney stew. Prince would be proud of me. It was purple cabbage instead of purple rain, which I still I know the Super Bowl's coming up, but I still think Prince. If I had to vote, Prince would be my favorite halftime show at the Super Bowl ever. I mean, it was raining. He did Purple Rain and a killer version of it. I mean, that was my favorite Super Bowl halftime show ever. It even beats out the one with Janet Jackson. Let's see. Corey just got a call. They're going crazy. There's now an active shooter in. I lost that last part. Yeah, this is nuts, man. This is not the way to start the new year. Not the way to start the new year. And I was kind of afraid of what it is. I'm gonna keep my 2 cents out of it. I'm gonna keep my 2 cents out of it because I don't know what on YouTube. I don't know what gives me strikes or what doesn't give me strikes, and I don't know. I don't know how that is. So I just sort of I let the news do that. Let's see what's happening. Than borch soup. Nothing more purple than borch soup. I don't know what that is. Borch. If I'm pronouncing it right. I don't have my glasses on either. Because my glasses are I don't have. I probably should have bifocals, but my glasses are for driving and watching TV. When everything close to me, I can't see anything if I have my glasses on. And my monitor's just like in between that. I have to kind of bend over here and check it out. Let me get a look-see on this pizza. Yeah, it's needing a minute. It's needing some time. Let's see, kind of being brought up in a single family home. Yeah, it's popping off everywhere. Luckily, I live in the middle of nowhere. The worst thing for me is I don't think the Amish are going to have a revolution anytime soon. The other day I was driving to the grocery store, and I had to pass 2 buggies, and that's around here. That's a traffic jam. And I'm so thankful for that. I couldn't imagine. I've lived in cities before. I couldn't imagine doing it again. Give me the small town life any day of the week, because that's what I want. I want small town life. It's beef stew, borch. Am I saying it right, Brian? Borch. I feel like my 9th grade English teacher would be disappointed with how I'm saying it. So, Greg, I mean, I don't know if you can say or not. Are you in the news? Are you like in the media business? Polish beet soup. Yeah, that would be purple. I do drink some beet. I sometimes in the mornings I have beet powder that I mix with water and drink that, and that's pretty purple. Three red. I have we have two red lights here, Cynthia, and after all the business is closed, it's like a ghost town. In the mornings, at 6 o'clock in the mornings, it's pretty crazy. You actually have to wait in line at the gas station, but after 5 o'clock, it's pretty quiet. We have a movie theater. We have everything here. It's kind of weird how we have everything in the town that I live in. We have everything. We have hardware stores. We have a barber shop. We have a beauty salon. We have pharmacy. We have we have the obligatory Subway sub shop. We have a few pizza places. One bar. There's a few big corporations here that have manufacturing. I'm trying to think if I left anything out. I have a butcher shop that's really nice. I have a dairy, which I'm going out to tomorrow to pick up milk. And I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think what else there is. There's a little dog park where I take the dog, and a track where you can walk around. I know there's other stuff. There's a really famous beef jerky place that's here, right outside of town, where they make Slim Jims. They make Slim Jims outside of town. And then there's another famous beef jerky place. Yang's beef jerky is made here, right down the street from me. Yeah, I don't have a Walmart. We have a Dollar General. We do have a Dollar General, but you can't. I mean, I don't. Nobody ever buys anything from it. I don't even know why it's there. There's only ever one person. There's only ever one person working in it. But let me see about this pizza. I don't want to keep opening the door, but it's neglecting to bubble on the top. And I'm going to check but I am going to check my bread. That's going to need that's probably going to need about as much time as the pizza does. I'm going to give that another 3 minutes. We're going to go ahead and we're going to start on the other pizza to kind of get this ball going, get this thing, because you guys are just staring at nothing. We do have a funeral home. Good point. We have a funeral home and we have a florist. And our florist, ironically, doesn't have flowers. It only has plastic flowers. It only has, and that's not even lie. That's not even, I can't even make that up. It doesn't have, that's all that it has, is plastic flowers. And the other thing that it sells, other than plastic flowers, is it sells puzzles. Like literally like puzzles. Like a puzzle. And it has all kinds of different puzzles. I don't know I've never gotten a puzzle from there. And it has a little antique shop. We do have a little antique shop that's open on Fridays and Saturdays. It has a lot of NASCAR stuff in it. It has a little bit of cast iron, but nothing I need. Nothing I can't live without. So we'll start this next one. Kind of space out these pepperonis a little bit. And like I said, I'm going to kind of artesian this up, if there is such a thing. Wow, that's pretty. Man, that's a funeral home right next to the nursing home. Man, that's city planning there. That is city planning. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to hit the thing. So we're gonna start again with the pepper. I'm gonna put these on first. I do drain these, even though you can't tell it, because you gotta, for this stuff to work, you really need it to be drained up, because you're gonna make the crust soggy. If you don't do it that way, it will make the crust soggy. So everything has to be drained. So we got our peppers and onions. Put a little bit more of that. The onions kind of went to the bottom. And we had these. And this is all stuff, I think when I figured it out, if I figured this out right, how I did it, these pizzas are $6.75 a piece. With everything on it, with everything that I put on there, $6, and that's rough. You know what I mean? That's a rough estimate of my Ohio math, which may not be that fantastic. Stuck toward the edges. Let's see, and then for this one, I'm going to use fresh mushroom, because there's nothing better than fresh mushroom. Fresh mushroom is where it's at. But I do like those canned ones. Canned ones, what they use at pretty much every pizza place. That one's kind of thick. I think I'll hold that one off unless I absolutely need it. So is that one. Where am I? Here's a Pete. I know I did this early in the morning, but not that freaking early. Okay. And another piece, another thin piece for in the middle. Put these out to the side. These out to the side. And I think that's probably about enough. That's probably about enough fresh mushroom. We went there, and then maybe a couple of little pieces into the center. Because we want these things to be thick. My pizza's taking a little bit longer than it normally does. I always say that in these videos. Everything seems to. As soon as I don't know why that is. Yeah, you can't. Yeah, you gotta. That was one of the things I was gonna say earlier with and then I've got some fresh mozzarella, semi-fresh mozzarella. I was gonna say earlier when I was talking about being a kid and getting a job at a pizza place, is you learn the little things. Let's see what the timer has to say about, or see what it looks like. Yeah, we're not doing too bad. I think I'm gonna let it go just a minute more. By the time I get the cheese on top of that, and we're just gonna do some cut up mozzarella. And was there anything else that I needed? No. And we'll just go with, take that back on there. And just put the Italian seasoning on there. And I'm not, like I said, this is cast iron in real life, so I have to get pretty. I think that's, yeah, they always taught us to put, they called it a cheese line, and they always wanted to make sure that we had the cheese to the edge and not in the center to make it pool up. And they always said that the guy that used to run the place, he was always like, yeah, the cheese will get to the middle no matter what. So we've got that. I'm actually going to throw a little bit more on here on the top, just a little bit to cover the spots, that little bit, just to go with my OCDs. And I'm going to get that out of the way. Take these gloves off. Yeah, these are thin crust. I'm a thin crust kind of guy. I like thin crust or hand tossed pizza. That's where I go. That's what I'm into. Is thin crust or pan. I don't like Pizza Hut style. Hey Rick, what's up, buddy? I don't like Pizza Hut, their regular pan pizza crust. That's never been my jam, for the most part. Let's set this off to the side. No reason for those green peppers to not be on there. Replace that with that thing there. Actually, no, I don't. I'm not going to need that. I'm not going to need that. What I'm going to need is the cardboard. Because we're going to slide that bad boy right on top of there and go from there. Get a drink of my water. Mercy B, hello. Glad to see the usuals, my comment section friends in here tonight. But yeah, I'm gonna pull the first pizza now. It looks pretty good. And we're gonna see how the other, oh yeah. The other is looking pretty decent. I'm gonna slide this over here, the pizza cutter. pizza number 1. Pizza number 1. And I think I'm just going to throw the other pizza on that one too. I think I'm just going to save myself the trouble of cleaning up another pizza pan. I was kind of thinking along the lines of staggering those out a little bit, but I didn't have as much room as I thought with the bread that I have in there. So we're going to throw that in there, and we're going to give that another 20, and we're keeping it at 425, and that'll free me up a little bit of space. I'm going to move the other pizza pan out of the way. This will give me a little space on my stove. Excuse me, just 1 second. While I put that other pan back on the rack. It's not missing anything. It'll get some use here soon enough. I can't believe the dog's not out here. Being this. But yeah, I think that turned out. Put it up there a little closer. But I think that turns out pretty good. I think that turns out fairly well. I should put a little more cheese on there, but I don't think that turned out too bad. So let's give that a. Put this. There we go. There's that. Make sure they all kind of got to keep them separated. Oh, and I forgot that way. There we go. And there's that. Oh yeah, it's steaming hot. Steaming hot. This is definitely crunchy. If I give you a shot, I don't know if I can get a shot of the underside, but the underside, if you can see it, it's got a nice, there's barely any flop. There's barely any flop to that. It's nice and cheesy, really hot. Everything cooked through, so it didn't get like soggy in the middle or anything like that. That 20 minutes at 225 or 425 is a really good, is a good rough estimate for everybody's stove. Most people's stoves are probably a lot hotter than mine, because just mine is just kind of, my stove is just a general, what do you call it? Just the general run-of-the-mill electric stove. I'm gonna pull the bread, because I don't want the bread to get too done on the bottom, and I don't want to open it up anymore on the back. And we'll get a look at that. I don't. Oh yeah, the bread. I like how the bread came out. Show that here real quick. I think that turned out really well. That's going to be fun. It's going to be crispy on the sides, and then it's got that cheese over top of it. That's going to be good stuff. And we'll go ahead and I'm going to have some of this pizza now, and then we'll see how the other one comes out. And I've got a kid to feed too. Ming, do you want some pizza? Okay, come out and grab you some. Do you want me to plate you something up? Please. Okay. So we'll get you some of that. You might want to get yourself a spoon for that little bit of pico to go with that, or whatever the heck you want to call it. I don't know what you call it. Boy, my throat is bugging me. Bugging me. There's that. And couple slices of pizza. And there we go.
Thank you.
Not too bad. I think that came out pretty decent. I'm really excited to see how the next one comes out. So that's not too bad. Here you go, kiddo.
Thank you so much. That looks amazing.
Thank you. Oh, good. Enjoy yourself. You might have to get a.
Yeah, I'm gonna set it right here.
Yeah. I might have to do that because I've got the table kind of taken care of. Oh, the dog went by. Hello, Granny Graham. Good to see you. And I'm going to plate myself up a little pizza. I'm going to have a little snack on the side while I wait for the other. The other one's the one I'm really waiting on. Yeah, I definitely should have went more cheese than I did. But I was afraid that it wouldn't come out. So I just kind of, I went medium style on it. And let me grab a piece of the bread and we'll see how that turned out. I'm really excited. I'm really wondering how the that dip came out. We'll set a little bit of that. Let's see what I got up here. Oh, I don't have. I've got all my bowls covered up. So I'll set some of this off to the side to sort of scrape into. And I might actually even put this a little bit on top of there just to give it a little bit of something. A little bit of something on there on the top. And I know pizza is not pizza without crushed red pepper. Normally I would do Tabasco sauce, but it's kind of far away. Bruschetta, is it really? Okay. I always wondered. I didn't know what bruschetta was. Let's give this a shot. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. I like that. Thank you, Mercy B. It is good. I could have went more cheese on the pizza, but we'll see how the other one does because there is a lot more cheese on that one. But I'm not gonna go too crazy here. I just want to taste it. I don't want to sit and eat in everybody's ears and all that. I just want to taste how this stuff is. That bruschetta is very good. That is really, really good. That kind of makes the whole thing. Sprinkle cheese to top it off. Yeah, I would do that. Honestly, but it's right where my Tabasco sauce is. It's kind of far away. But that as Tom says, this is bruschetta, and I trust him. That is where it's at. That's really good. That's way better than dipping in a pizza sauce or. I do like garlic butter, but this is better. Yeah, that's good. I got to put this down or I'm going to just sit and smash. Man. I would do that bread again. That's for certain. I got to get a drink. Pool, yeah, wrapped in pool noodles. That's the way I send. That's the way I send my cast iron. The other thing that I do when I send cast iron to people is I wrap it in either dog training pads or under diapers. That's how I send it. That's how I pack my stuff, wrapped in plastic. Yeah. Yeah, you don't have to whisper. People know you're not the kid from in the closet. Not yet, anyway.
Not yet.
I was actually just showing off my lame that you got me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for Christmas. For some reason, I suddenly have a craving for pizza. I hope it turns out okay. It looks pretty good in person, honestly.
It looks really good in person.
I hope the pads are new. The pads, I don't know what you mean, Val. The pads. Unless I'm reading it wrong.
The potty pads you were just talking about for packaging.
What?
The potty pads you were just talking about for packaging.
Oh, is that what it is? Oh, okay. My daughter has to interpret for me sometimes because I'm a little slow. If you saw where I grew up, you'd understand why. Send the adult diapers and mine use the next New Year. That was a trick that I learned because we had a dog, and we had a bunch of them, and they were left over. Yeah, dog pads. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. You probably already caught it. My daughter is in the background. She was saying that's what she meant, the pads. But yeah, I had a bunch left over from when we had a dog, our last dog, and when I started sending out cast iron, I'd wrap them in there, and then that kind of became a thing I do. It's sure as heck a lot better than a lot of ways people send stuff. Yeah, anything cushiony. Peanuts, bubble pack. I got a cast iron once from, I can't remember which one it was. I think it was a National Wagner that I got to restore on eBay, and I got it. It was so cheap, but it was a rust bucket, and it was literally wrapped in plastic wrap and a newspaper, like just a couple pieces of paper, and it was put into a big envelope, and that was it. I can't even believe it made it to the front of my house. Like, I literally can't believe it made it here. The post office, the people at the post office, the post office gods were looking down on me that day. I'm gonna get this off to the side. The pizza's really good. But if you do it, I highly suggest more cheese. Put more cheese on it. It needs more cheese. I was just trying to playing it safe today because I was cooking for other people. Yeah, I don't know why people don't, Huey, I don't know why people don't take the time to just shake the package. I mean, that's literally the best thing the best possible way to do it is to make sure that you, shake the package. Oh, my dog's here. Somebody's wanting a pepperoni. I think we can hook you up. We'll swing the dog. We'll swing this over here and get the dog in so everybody. The dog was my advertising this week. Come here. Come on, Beaks. Yeah. Come here, what? Come here. What are you scared of? There you go. Good job. I don't know why she's acting like that. Normally I can't get rid of her. Ever. At any time of the day.
You want a Pepsi?
Yeah, I'll take a Pepsi. Give me one of them no calorie Pepsis. On account of watching my figure. There we go. Put that back over there. Blue loaded nachos. Nachos sound good. Mexican anytime sounds good to me. I could eat Mexican and Chinese food is just like my thing. I was actually even debating this week on whether or not to do lo mein. I want to do lo mein. I think I'll do lo mein maybe next week or this weekend. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, she's usually, I don't know what she's, well, with my daughter being here, she's not right under my feet for a change. Because if it was just me by myself, I'd be fending this dog off with a stick. Ugh. Gotta have a Pepsi with, some people like beer with pizza. I've never been a beer or alcohol drinker with Pepsi, or most of my food, or I'm sorry, beer with pizza. I've never been a beer and pizza guy. It's always had to be it's at least some kind of soda. All right. Let's just get this out of my face here before I eat the whole thing. Because I'm trying to save room. Oh, now you're out here? Now you want to be buds again? Come here. Pizza? There you go. Have a little pizza beagle. I'm gonna move it down here. Come here. Some pizza? I think it's the cords to my camera that are messing her up. Come here. No? Are you being serious? Are you totally being serious? I can't believe you're being serious. Well, she just does not want to come past that cord. Oh, now she's here. Okay, come here. There. All right, now. Now there she is. There we go.
Here's that little beetle.
She didn't want to go past the cord. There it is. See me in my stinking slippers. Okay. Walking around. I don't even have shoes on. Oh well, I'm in the house. See, now I got my camera all jacked up. Oh well. It'll be alright. I'll fix it here in a second. That's actually a little better view. Let me see, catch up on here. Oh yeah. What number 7 was that again? Was that a BSR number 7, Corey? Let me see here. All right. Oh man, everybody's been smashing it. I just got a chance to kind of check the thing here. Everybody's been smashing the like button. I just jumped up to 25 viewers. That's cool. 19 likes. I can't complain about that. That is one thing you guys are great about. I can never complain about getting likes on this channel because I always I get so many likes for the amount of viewers that I have, and I'm not disappointed by the amount of viewers I get anyway. Because I always feel like I'm cooking. I'm kind of eating dinner once a week. I'm eating dinner with my friends, so that's pretty cool. I'll take that. I'll take that any day of the week. The pizza is looking pretty good. Sort of at a little lull here. So let me check this out. Nevada Gambler. I actually do have one that I would sell. I have a number 8 Red Mountain that I would sell. And if anybody ever wants to contact me directly, you can go to all lowercase honeyjbadger@yahoo.com. You can go there to purchase cast iron cure. You can go to eBay and just look that up if you want. If anybody's interested in any of my beard, any gents or ladies that want to buy a gift for your husbands or boyfriends or that son-in-law or that's tough to buy for, you can check out my beard products. Beard, B-E-A-R-D, beard, not beer, because I pronounce it things funny. and that stuff's always available. Yeah, I have a 10 red mountain that I'm just about done with working on, actually. And that'll be on my page on eBay. I don't really have a lot of pans on eBay right now. I have one 1970s number 6 Wagner that's restored. But that's it. Yeah, but yeah, once again, you can hit that email anytime anybody wants to. If you I try to put cards in, business cards in when I sell stuff online, and so people can contact me if they have any issues with use or questions about that. It has my number and my another email that you can get to. But yeah, that then once again, that email is honeyjbadger at honeyjbadger@yahoo.com. Let me see. Thanks for the email. Yeah, no problem. No problem. Yeah. Like I said, I don't have much on there as far as skillets right now or any kind of other cast iron. I just have the Beard Products cast iron cure, and then that one pan. One pan, as far as I know, and it's nothing. I don't think a lot of people here might be interested in unless they wanted it to for like camping or something. It's definitely not I mean, all Wagners are semi collectible, no matter what anybody thinks, because they don't make them anymore. Other than that griddle that we just, I guess I can't say that 100%, but you know, any Wagner piece anymore is somewhat collectible because you're not going to get them anymore. They just, you know, it's not like you can go to the store and get a Wagner. Good night, Rick. We'll see you, buddy. I'm just about ready to pop that other pizza out of the oven. We're just not getting much of a crust on this. I'd say the other one's got I'm going to give the other one 2 minutes. We're going to give the other one 2 minutes, and that's going to be it. And we're going to pull it because it's going to be ready. But yeah, on another note, if anybody is looking for pans and they're new to the channel and they're not familiar with everybody, Hog Wild Cast Iron Restoration sells on Etsy, and he has tons and tons of stuff. Does a great job with his restoration work. It really it doesn't get much better than. It just doesn't get much better than what Huey at Hog Wild does for his restoration. He does a fantastic job. Hey, Rusty, what's up, buddy? Better late than never. Good to see you. I hope your holidays were great. Oh, those Wagner 10. Yeah, Wagner's 35 to 57s. Yeah, they spin. That's okay. I have a lot of Wagners that spin. Not a lot of Wagners that spin, but I have a couple. Yeah, I know you've been kind of laid up for a little while, Huey, but yeah, man, it's just good to know where people can get products. It's why I don't like to push my stuff. I don't like to push the cast iron cure off on people. But if you don't say it, then then people just don't know where to get it. So it's better to kind of plug your stuff and have other, in the community. That's what I just try to plug everybody's stuff. I try to give everybody's channel, like I've always shared Cast Iron Chaos's channels as much as I possibly can. I've shared Luis's channels. Big Lou Barbecue, I've shared his channels. Mudbrooker, I've shared Mudbrooker's channels. It's all about the community, and it's all about keeping, when you find people that do a good job at what they do, and even like even for Mudbrooker, I mean, for him to do what he does and give out really accurate information and good tips and good restoration techniques and things like that. Jeff Rogers, I recommend Jeff Rogers to people. I mean, that's the way That's the way to do it. You know, that's when you see good shows and good people and good information. That's what it's all about. I mean, anybody can get a pan and they can make a mirror shine out of it to get 15,000 or 50,000 views on YouTube. But I would never do that to a pan. I wouldn't recommend that to anybody to do to a pan. I wouldn't recommend that channel to somebody. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't. It's clickbait, and that's all. And that's all it is. It's just clickbait. And you know, and people can get mad at me for saying that. They can say, "Oh, you're being snooty about whatever, or this, that, and the other thing." But I don't care. It's you know, I wouldn't do cast iron that way, and I wouldn't recommend anybody do it that way. There's so many ways to do things. Sometimes you get into this dogma that, well, I can do it. You know, I can do it, instead of it being the way that it should be done or can be done. You know, it's like people throwing stuff into fires and saying, well, that's how my grandpa did it. Well, you know what? My great grandparents used to have an outhouse. And I'm not saying that's the worst thing in the world. It's definitely not a bad, you know, works in a pinch, but with modern technology and information, you don't need to do that anymore. Just like you don't need to throw cast iron in the fire to clean it after you're on the on the Wagner train. Look at that. Now that came out really nice. I hope. Let me see if you guys can get a good shot of that. That's more of a Neapolitan style pizza, I guess. From what, yeah, like I'm some expert, like I'm some pizza expert. But yeah, that one came out really good too. And that was the one we did with the fresh ingredients. And this is the one I've been waiting on to kind of mess around, to have some of. The other one I've had a million times, and I didn't put enough. I don't think I put enough cheese on it, to be honest. But I'm always picky. I'm a picky, you know. To me, it's not always how good, what it tastes like. To me, it's not how it tastes. It's the process of making it and how it comes out that I'm more about. That's how I'm just that. That's just the way I am. And we'll take a little bit of this crush. These. I think I'm gonna do the last one I was doing. I did a cayenne pepper. I think for this one I'm gonna use a dehydrated Tabasco pepper, and we're just gonna crack that over top of it. Yeah, there we go. Oh yeah, that's what. Tabasco is where it's at. That's the king of peppers to me. I just love that. And then I'm gonna plate that up. Do a plate with this. Yeah, yeah. I just like to process things. I've always been that way. I have a short attention span and a really long attention span at the same time. Yeah. But yeah, that's a little better. You get some little cheese pull on there. That's what I didn't have with the last one, which is kind of disappointing. But you get some cheese pull on that with this. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Let me just clear my plate off. We're gonna go in for another round of pizza. Then move this off to the side. And I've had that other one kind of heating up there. Or the bread, I still got the bread on the side. And we'll just grab, I like that one piece. I like this one. And I like this one. Oh, lost my pepperoni. It's too hot, hold on. Lost my pepperoni. I want that pepperoni. I want that one. I want that piece. There we go. But yeah, that turned out. I'm pretty happy with all this, and we'll use we use the last of the bruschetta. The last of the bruschetta on top of that. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with all that. I think that came out pretty good. And that's not bad for a $6 pizza and some leftover, some bread that I made a couple days ago. You know, a $6, $6 pizza at the most. I mean, you really just can't go wrong with that, especially in this day with this economy. You just can't go wrong with that, and it's all fresh ingredients. It's not. I mean, I don't know what the heck their sauce and their and everything. I don't know how great that is for a person, but that is that's a pretty darn good pizza. And then, like I said, there's zero flop, zero flop. The underside is nice. It's not burnt up, and that's just. It came out really good. I can't not. Even if it's blasting hot and scorches the top of my mouth, I don't care. I really want to taste this. I have, talking my mouth full. Corey Clark, I have never had a smoked pizza or grill. I've never done a pizza on the grill that I can remember, but I've done it. I used to drink a lot more, so there's a good chance, considering that I practically live in the summer times and half the winter I live outside on the grill. I'm sure I've made a pizza like that before. But that sounds amazing. And this bread is pretty awesome. I would probably go, like I said, I've never done this bread like this before. I would probably go a little bit lighter. I would do the breads, if I could do the bread separately, I'd do it at like 375. But at the same time, and I'd probably chunk the cheese up. I wouldn't put the big slabs of cheese on there that I did. So where are we at on time? Excuse me, I'm talking with my mouth full. Let's see, 8:45. I didn't get a chance to check. Is Luis doing a show tonight? A lot of times if he can't, he will he'll put it in his community page that he's not. Let's see, just got new wood for $100. Oh, Luis isn't on tonight. Hey, RT Scott, good to see you, man. Good to see you. I hope everybody I hope everybody had a good time tonight. I had a great time with everybody here today. Yeah, I had a great time. I can't wait to when I do when I break out that Wagner for the first time. I'll put that up. Definitely will. But yeah, man. Hey, I really wanted to. I guess. Yeah, Huey. We'll see you, buddy. Hit me up sometime here real soon. I hope you're feeling a lot better. After all the work you've had done on yourself. In case Huey's already left Nevada Gambler, Huey, I know for a fact, is on Etsy. He is an Etsy seller. I don't know if he has anything on eBay, but he does do. Yeah, and in Texas, if you're anywhere near there. Yeah, but he's definitely on. I've seen him on Etsy a bunch, and he's priced really well too. He does a lot of fair. His prices are pretty fair. There's a lot of people that are selling things for a lot more than what Huey's selling them for, and like I said, just the job that Huey does on his restorations that's just they're as good as you get. They really are. They are. West Coast. Oh, I just got one of those hot peppers. Ugh. Thanks, Val. I'm gonna be running here soon. Radagast. Oh, I'm starting to wrap it up. I did a unboxing of the new Wagner 1148 reissued Long Griddle, and then we dressed up some homemade pizzas and we just dressed up some homemade pizzas. And I just wanted to get some use out of my round griddle that I don't get to use very often. I ended up not using my lodge round griddle, which is killer. If you guys get a chance to pick up one of those Lodge pizza pans, if you don't already have them, and we use those for everything. Those cookies. I mean, you name it. Anything that you could, anything that you could use to put in there. I need a big flat surface for. They're definitely worth it, and they're actually reasonably priced. I see the pizza pans at about $39, pretty much everywhere, about $39, and that's great for a pizza pan. And it's not like and it's not just some flimsy aluminum pizza pan that will be thrown away in a year or so. I mean, those pizza pans are great, and they're easy to clean because they don't have the side thing on them. That is kind of a downfall for some things, but they don't have the side on it. But no, Cynthia, I did not figure that out. And everywhere I look, it says that that's not an option. And I even went to some other stuff and the thing of it is I try to see replays on, like, say with my phone, and I watch replays of other people's lives. I don't see their live comments either. I only see the regular comments. That's all I do. But if I figure it out, I'll definitely let you know. Yeah, this is the things I'm working on. There's some other things. I got one fella who messaged me in the community page that says he can't comment in the comment section during the live stream. So there's things that I have to do. We replay all the comments on all of them. Oh, okay. I use mine as you know what? I wondered if I figured it would do that. I think I've done that before with how the underside is, of how the underside is, that it fits over that like that. Because that's the one skillet, I think, that I don't have a lid for in my Lodge collection. I think it's the 14, or if there's a 15. I've got some weird size. I think I've got a 15 inch, but that might be the 14 too. I don't know. I'd have to look again. But yeah, I have used that as a lid before outside. Yeah, it's 2017. Great, the Smoky Mountain skillet. Those are cool. I do dig those. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I remember, yeah, 14 to 15 inch, right, yeah, 100%. Because that's what the turkey pan is, I believe. The turkey pan is a 15, I think. Or no, what is that? Is that a 12? I don't know, I don't have the turkey pan. I'm trying to think right now. But yeah, Tom, that, I can remember at one point being able to watch live comments on a live replay, but I haven't been able to do that in a long time. I can't do it on anything anymore. But yeah, give you a note on how. So you can do it on there. So that's pretty cool. I can email Mud and ask him how he does it, because it's probably just a setting thing. It's probably just a setting thing. 13 and a half. See, that's what I was thinking, that it wasn't a 15. I'm trying to think. 14. And I have a 14 SK. I have a whole Lodge collection of just the basic from 3 to 17 of the modern. Yeah, YouTube knows best. We just have to we just have to we just have to accept it. Yeah. Live comments often come in after a couple of days. Oh, okay. Okay, William Hurt. I will. Yeah, there's a lot that comes in after a couple days. Like I can't, if I wanted to just edit this video on my phone, I couldn't do it till tomorrow. If I wanted to add a thumbnail to it tonight, unless I already did a thumbnail to this ahead of time because I had a picture of that griddle, but I couldn't edit on my phone until tomorrow. I don't know what the time frame is. Yeah, the 14's big. The 14's what I did. What did I? That's what I did. Our Hammond was a 14 this year. A Lodge 14. Trying to catch up with my comment section because I'm watching it on a monitor. I can't scroll back. I can scroll back on my phone, but I'm afraid I can do it on the back of the camera, but I'm afraid I'll move it. I do have a Guardian pizza pan, 15-inch, like Guardian aluminum pan, Fuzz. I have one my mom has the one, roasting pan, the heart-shaped roasting pan with a heart-shaped glass lid. That thing's pretty cool. And she's got the round roaster. I've got one piece of Guardian, but it's what I put my keys in, and it holds like. This is why I put my keys in by the door. I've had it there it's been in every place I've ever lived. Wow, that's pretty cool, Fuzz. A piece of it that big, a Guardian. Guardian's neat. I'm surprised more people with the craze of aluminum right now. When people are buying Maglite and stuff like that, that the prices of Guardian service didn't go up as well. And Club was always kind of cool, but I always kind of had an affinity for Guardian service. I think it's neat. Everything they do is pretty cool. They had a lot of cool stuff. I don't remember. I did a deep dive on it once, but I can't remember when they quit making it. How long they made it for. I'm not sure. Let me see what else we got here in the comment section. Yeah, Guardian lids they're heart-shaped lids. I mean, that's you just can't get any. I mean, that's pretty rad right there. I mean, you don't have a lot of that. I have a Firestone oval aluminum roaster. Firestone, like isn't Firestone the automotive company? Firestone. That's one I've never heard of. I've never heard of that. But it wouldn't surprise me. You like the tires, huh? That's pretty cool. And it was made by Firestone, huh? It's amazing what some of these companies made. Like I have a radio in my garage. It's a Ford radio, but it's just a radio, like a box, the old '60s style wooden box radio, and it's a Ford. I don't know if it's Cynthia, that's when I use my bigger pans. That's when they come out as the holidays. Sometimes in the summertime, if I have a bunch of people over, or if I'm trying to make a bunch of stuff for the week, I've got that 17-inch Lodge dual handle skillet that I've had for a while, and that holds I think it's 14 chicken thighs. And sometimes if I'm making a lot of stuff during the week, especially a lot of Chinese food, I'll make those in there. But yeah, it's definitely not an everyday. It's not every day that I get my that I get out all the my 17. I was actually when I got that that Wapak Long Griddle down, I I had to move my 17-inch glass lid that goes to the or a 15-inch glass lid, one or the other, that's in the way. I had to move the lid, and the lid was just it needs a good buffing. Look it up online, the Firestone Oval Aluminum Roaster. I will look that up. I use my number 7 Griswold almost every day. Yeah, I tell you, I use so much cast iron. I'm with you, Fuzz. I could probably do a video 3 times a day on a live stream. That's how much cast iron I use. Today I've already used a round. I've used Sydney Hollowware round griddle, a Lodge round griddle. I've used, what all we got? I've used that really, really old gate marked 16-inch round griddle. I'm trying to think of what else I've used today. I think that's it, but that's a lot of cast iron to use in the course of a day. Oh, and I use the casserole dish. I have seen the Firestone motorboats. Boat motors. Yeah, I've seen that. But I live near a resort area with a big lake. Let me see. Cynthia Wesley. Cynthia, you are a pistol. That's for sure. But anyway, we've been doing this for 2 hours now. We still have everybody that was still here to begin. We have actually more people at the end than we had at the beginning, and we have the same amount of likes as we have people in the watching. So that's pretty phenomenal. I just every week that I do this, that's the amazing part of it. It just blows my mind every week that people actually show up to my kitchen and want to see me screw stuff up in the kitchen. It's burn things in my kitchen. Man, I'm so thankful for that, and I will give the spiel. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do. That gets me more reach and gets more people to come in and visit in here, and gets my other videos more plays. And I'm gonna do. I do want to start getting to now that it's after the first year. I'm gonna start doing more regular videos again. I did like doing the regular videos, but the lives have sort of taken up that for the last, couple months. And the shorts, I like doing the shorts. I just haven't had much time with. I just haven't had as much time to sit and have my space to do the videos like I do, as much as I can just say. Here at the house, I can say, okay, it's 7 o'clock on Thursday, and an hour or two before that, everybody the hell out of my kitchen so I can do these. And I thought it was fun for everybody to do. I know that a lot of times Luis can't do his, and I didn't want to do anything on Wednesday because Cast Iron Chaos isn't the only channel that I watch on Wednesdays that does live. Smoke and Bear, they do a 6 o'clock keto show. There's other people during the day that, Shovelhead 8, if you guys haven't done that, if you guys don't know who Shovelhead 8 is, he is the one that gives out the list every week that he gets from Native Tears, who created Cast Iron Wednesday. And they kind of set up what the challenges are, the Cast Iron Wednesday challenges. And they've been doing that for years. They've been doing that. Shovelhead 8. Native Tears, she'll put up the playlist, but I don't think she makes content anymore. At least I haven't seen any. But Shovelhead 8 does, and if you don't know who Shovelhead 8 is, Shovelhead 8 is the guy, I believe he's Canadian, and I don't hold that against him. But he's the guy, he has a parakeet on his shoulder. He's kind of an entertaining character, and I do like Shovelhead 8's show. He's subscribed to this. So, but yeah, that's Shovelhead 8, he's a great one to watch. So there's a lot of stuff I watch on Wednesday, so I'd kind of feel weird doing a show on Wednesday. And then Mudbrookers at 7:30, which is kind of in between, in my time zone is 7:30, so that's kind of in between dinner and not dinner. So I usually give that, and I just don't, Mondays are usually just a recovering from the weekend kind of day, so I'm not really too into doing a video on Mondays unless it's not a live video. Radagast. I live near a lake too, Lake Minnetonka. Minnetonka. So that's Minnesota, huh? Is that must be Minnesota? That's where my mom's side of the family's from. Is around Minnesota. They're from the where the little house on the prairie thing was. They were from Mankato, Minnesota. That's where they settled from Ireland. Minnetonka, yeah. Sorry, I'm actually not, I'm just not wearing my glasses, so I have to kind of step away to kind of look and see what the things say. Yeah, I liked Lady Stacker, Lady Liberty Stacker too. She did good stuff. Yeah, she doesn't do things anymore. Trying to think of some of the other people I watch that I would give a shout out to. Big Lou. Big Lou just did a video though that said he's not doing a lot of stuff anymore. And the person that I really wish would do more is Jeff Rogers. Jeff Rogers had great videos. If it wasn't for Jeff Rogers, I don't think people would know how to do restore cast iron the right way. I really think that guy was I don't want to say he invented it because I don't know, but he is one of the people that just absolutely was the forefront of cast iron restoration 10 years or so ago, 10, 12 years ago. And his ideas, I've never, that's where I saw somebody uh, um, use an easy off to get off in a plastic bag. That's where I saw that for the first time. And another old company that made everything, Westinghouse. I didn't see the comments before that. Sorry, Brian. Bless her heart, she stayed. Yeah, Lady Liberty Stacker, she was great. She was always a fun one to watch too. Let's see, I've been using Etang and Libath for over 30 years. Yeah, see, like I said, until 10 years ago, I really didn't know any of this. I didn't know it was a thing. I had no idea that people actually collected. I just thought it was all gone. And it's great to see that it isn't. You see some of these people that have this, like, when I was talking about going to the cast iron convention in Louisiana later on this year to see the collection that the guy has that puts that on, and I can't think of his name, but that's where the Wagner Griswold Society has their convention, and the guy holds it there every year. And to see he has a building. He has literally a building for his cast iron collection. It's unbelievable. But anyway, I'm gonna cut it off. It's been about 2 hours. I'm gonna actually sit down and eat, and while everything's still relatively toasty, I'll probably toss it back in the oven for a minute and all that, and clean this up so I'm not doing it till midnight. But hey, I appreciate everybody showing up. I really do. And for everybody to stick around for 2 hours while I make frozen pizza, that's that's pretty amazing. But like I said, if you haven't already, subscribe, share the channel, hit the like button. Because I don't have any other social media than YouTube. So I am on Twitter, and I do share my videos there, but that's all I do there. I'm not really on Twitter. I just kind of have the account. Yeah, Val, thank you so much for coming in. You guys, I look forward to this part of is so much fun. Radagast, it took me a minute to figure out where you had your name, where you got your name from, until we were watching movies the other day. I knew it sounded familiar, and then we were watching movies the other day, and I was like, oh, that's where that's from. That's where that's from. Yeah, I forget which one of the movies I forget which one we were watching, because we were on a vendor. We do that. We do the Harry Potter movies sometimes, and we'll do kind of binge on I don't want to say Hobbit, but it's part of the Hobbit series. I'm not all the Token movies. Yeah, and it's lost on me. I lost my nouns there and my titles there for a second. Trying to think of who that is. But yeah, and to see the character, the Radagast character, that was funny. But anyway, I'm gonna get off here and let you guys all get back to your night. It's getting late, and the dog she just came out here to bug me too. So talk to you guys later, and thanks for showing up. All right, see you.